Bird. Underneath the DJ, lays it in. Right up 1 second left. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. Oh, wow. In your life have you seen anything like that? No. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles?
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program,
where we talk the sports and other stuff like shoelaces. You can tie them, you can even untie them, but whatever you do, don't try to put them in a monkey's ass. They don't take kindly to that. I'm Roy Harder, and here's your host,
Mr. Inside David McDowell.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Roy Harder.
hey,
What was that about shoelaces?
you can tie them,
Yeah.
you can untie them,
Untie them.
but whatever
Don't-
you do,
Right.
don't stick them in a monkey's ass.
Don't stick them in a monkey's ass.
That's right.
Roy, I'm going to consider taking the introduction away from you at this point. I have to. You've been such a nice man since the DMSP has been wildly successfully rebooted. Oh my God. So the amount of people contacting me and messaging me about how excited the Davey Mac Sports Program is and how excited they are to be back, to be listening to the #1 sports podcast of all time, if not the #1 podcast of all time.
That's right.
We got a lot of big announcements to make that will be taking place in the coming weeks and months. And we only have one show, by the way, left after this one in 2023. Next week, Chris Pepper Stanley will be back. That's right, of the Bennington Show. Chris Pepper Stanley, the controversial Peppy Hamburger, will be back on the Davey Mac Sports Program. But I want to introduce to you a spectacular human being, one of the most powerful human beings in the history of the Davey Mac Sports Program, one of the most powerful individuals in the state of New Jersey. He just put on yet another brilliant IWF, that's the Independent Wrestling Federation. He put on another brilliant IWF wrestling event, massive acclaim. I participated. We'll talk about my performance and what happened. But right now, put it together for the one and only, the Master of Chaos, Kevin Knight.
Yeah, Kevin.
Now, that introduction was all well and good, and I know we're going to get to the big wrestling event that happened this past Saturday night in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Yes, we will.
You're nice to me here, but on Saturday night, you have 2 hands wrapped around my throat.
I did. Roy,
That's where we need to start.
Roy, I was managing a young gentleman by the name of Benjamin T. Asher.
Yep.
And at one point, he had to discuss something with the referee. This conversation was merely about, just how long is this match going to go? Because he needed to know, what time he had to beat Kevin. At that point, when Benjamin T. Asher was talking to the referee, I noticed Kevin was by himself. He was hung up on the ropes, Roy. I tried to get Kevin up. I'm a fair fighting type of guy. And I always think, one-on-one, it should be Kevin versus Benjamin, settle things, those two. So I was trying to get Kevin up. Now, Kevin accused me, as did many of the fans, of choking him. Listen, I tried to get him up by the throat. My apologies.
I did not realize that I was going to need a shovel to be on hand here during tonight's broadcast.
What are you talking about? I was trying to listen. I was like, oh God, Benjamin T. Asher's talking to the ref. I'm like, oh, Kevin's on the ground. And while I wasn't managing you, I was managing against you. I don't want to see you just sitting there. So I go, you know what? For the benefit of sportsmanship, I'll get Kevin on his feet and the match can continue and the whole building can see this beautiful match. But all of a sudden I'm strangling Kevin Knight was the word on the street.
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate. Yep.
I think it's
accurate.
Interesting, Dave. Kevin and I spent our Saturday nights both getting choked by a bungee rope.
Interesting.
Robert, we're not going to talk about your S&M practices on the Davey Mac Sports Program.
I think you should leave that right there.
Yeah. Robert loves all kind of BDSM and all kinds of stuff. Oh my God.
Dave.
Kevin, his Pornhub search box is just all like Gimp from the Pulp Fiction type of movies he's looking for.
A lot of latex.
That wasn't on tonight's format. I must have missed that.
Most of the stuff will not be on tonight's format. I always write
Rob's
a beautiful
search
show
history. I don't see that on here.
I always give a nice show prep email, and we very much often disregard it for some reason. Now, Kevin. So, and listen, you got your revenge. You beat my guy, Benjamin T. Asher in that match, and I was pissed off. But I figured, okay, you know what? That's disappointing. No worries. My other guy, All-American Robert Atkins, he used to be, drinking milk, saving the baby who was drowning in the water. I mean, most of us, you and me, would let the baby die. Yeah. But, this guy, goes into the lake and saves the baby. It's like, oh, look at this guy. Usually, he saw a cat on the side of the road with a broken leg. You know how you and I would treat the cat. There'd be a bullet in the back of the head. We'd send him to kitty heaven. But somehow All-American Robert Atkins back in the day figured out how to repair the cat's leg. He had a little emergency cat kit. But here's the one problem. He's had all the kind of tag team glory in the world. He wants a world championship. I said, come to me. Come to the dark side. Okay, join the East Side Empire. Join Davey Mac. And he has. And we have formed quite the unholy alliance. But guess who was there yet again, Roy? We're going to show you some pictures. And let's do the pictures first, though, Robert.
Okay.
The blonde lady who I've talked about many a times on the Davey Mac Sports Program. She hates me the way my mom hates me. I mean, limitless hatred with this woman. There she is.
I recognize her, and I remember her very well, David. Yes.
That was me getting into it with her. And I guess
she's
her
on
brother
her feet this
or
time.
husband or something. Robert, do we have one with her face?
That might have been her son, right? Wasn't it her son?
No, her son is there's the other one with her face. There's one with her face. The son is somewhere off camera, but I don't know what the hell's going on. So that was her.
Wait,
so
you're telling me that isn't first class Justin Adams?
No, that's not. That is this woman.
My bad.
He put on a little weight.
Yeah.
Bulking up.
Her son is in that red shirt, I think. He hates me too.
That's her grandson and the grandson.
That's what it was. Yes.
They both call me stupid loser. They go with the North Jersey accent. It's like I'm being yelled at by, Tony Soprano and fucking Janice. It's like, you stupid loser. Shut up, you stupid loser. Anyway, I try to tell them that my dad was from Nutley. My dear departed father. That doesn't help anyone from North Jersey. They could give a shit. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Robert, do you have the video? And we won't play the whole thing. It's 10 minutes long. Go to Eastside Dave TV on YouTube and check out the 10-minute promo.
Diatribe.
The diatribe, huh?
It's being called one of the greatest promos of all time, at least.
Very similar to the 10-hour BTK serial killer confession.
So let's just take a quick. So this is me talking about All-American Robert Atkins.
All right. A place like New Brunswick, city of losers. Folks. You ended Rutgers Scarlet Knights on a 5-game losing streak, folks.
Yeah.
You're losers.
I can't argue with that.
Fair point.
5-game losing streak means losers, right?
Yes.
Where's my good friend? Where's that lady with the same blonde perm that she's had since 1987? Yeah, she's hot now, ain't she? My name is Eastside Dave, and I am the greatest wrestling manager in the state of New Jersey.
David, you got a set of cojones on you, brother.
Here she comes. Oh, here she comes. Gloria,
Here we go,
some
Roy.
food, getting some pizza, stuff in your face, getting some candy bars, getting some soda pop. When you're me, you stay in shape. You eat good food. You don't eat pizza from a snack bar at a wrestling show in New Brunswick, stupid.
Robert, that's it.
That's the same thing you say to me before
David.
every episode, Dave.
Pretty much.
Where were you, Rob? Grabbing some snacks, eating some pizza.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna write this promo down because this promo applies to Robert as well somehow. I'm not. The blonde lady and Robert have a lot in common. I do have to say I love that woman though. I'm not gonna lie, because unlike a lot of WWE fans who are trained, see, Vince McMahon thought he was being so clever by saying, here's what people don't understand. Remember Beyond the Mat, he had the water bottle and he goes, here's what people don't understand. We make movies. Okay, well, guess what, Vince? When you train your audience to go to the movies, how do people go to the movies and watch them? Quietly. They sit on their hands. No one talks at the fucking movies. No one talks at a Broadway play. So when Vince McMahon was always saying movies, that's why the WWE audience is dead during a match. Unlike this woman and her family who bring the fire and the heat each and every IWF event, because it's not movies, pal. Movies. It's wrestling. There's a difference. It's not movies. I hate that. I hate the word movies with wrestling. Movies. Kevin, you see what I'm saying?
You make a good point, Dave.
Well, what do you think about that, though?
I agree.
Do you think that Vince, let's talk about this in a general term. Do you think Vince McMahon literally killed crowd noise, at least crowd noise in WWE, because he constantly told the audience that this is just a show, it's a movie? Do you think that is the impact with I still watch Raw and SmackDown. I have a wrestling podcast with my son. I watch Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, and Rampage. And I got to tell you, there's no crowd noise. And it's unless it's piped in by Fox because they think we're stupid and don't understand that we can tell fake audio like that. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, they did take out the crowd interaction over the past 20 years. It's gotten less and less, and that's why the audience has dwindled more and more, and the ratings have dropped more and more with each passing year, because professional wrestling to me was always a mix of vaudeville and Broadway theater, stand-up comedy, and it's just become, I don't want to say sanitized, but it's just, it's almost like the audience is sitting there in a zombie-like state watching the product, and that's not what this was supposed to be. Could you imagine going to a comedy club or back in the day, the old vaudeville shows or a Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yes.
Without interacting. That's what wrestling is. Rocky Horror.
Crowd participation. No doubt about it. And that lack of participation to me means a lack of connection with your audience. It's a much bigger problem than WWE is willing to recognize. Now, hopefully Triple H, he's taken over. So hopefully he gets back to that. I think he will, because to me, he at least was attempting to get back into old school wrestling with his NXT show, the old one, the black and gold NXT show.
Yes.
He had an old kind of format, sort of reminded me of, it was like a studio wrestling show, but it was good. All right. So
Lifeguard says Dave as a wrestling manager is a perfect fit.
I get the job done. If anyone wants to pay me some money, here's the one thing I know how to do is get you a championship match. I've gotten my guys championship matches at the IWF. Okay.
It's true.
Now, listen, if they lose, it's not on me.
No.
Why is it on me? First of all, I had to hit Roy Harder, this big lug who doesn't like you, the Dark Oracle Sage. I had to hit him with a chair on Saturday.
I would have liked to do that, David.
Roy, This big beast didn't even go down. He didn't even get pinned after I hit I seriously swung as hard as I could. Hit him as hard as I could in the back with the damn chair. He gets up and then punches me in the face.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a hammer. That he'll feel.
I should have gotten a hammer.
Speaking
Damn
of
it.
laying down the hammer, Dave, were you mean to Big A? Because he sent me a picture. He's watching the show. He was like, can you throw this up?
Yes, please.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I was definitely mean to Big A. He's the photographer at IWF. He's at ringside.
Oh, there you go. Victorious.
I don't know why you felt it so important to show your arch nemesis Victorious, Dave, but he's like, you got to throw this one up.
So Kevin, IWF is a wonderful federation. It is family friendly. I'm not going to go out there and curse. Believe it or not, I'm a human being, and I also work in FM radio all these years later. So still, so I know how to talk, normally. But I did say something somewhat edgy. I called Andrew a fat slob.
Oh,
on Saturday.
That explains.
Because
There
he was in my way.
no reason for that. There was no reason.
What do you mean there was no reason for it? He was in my way. I'm trying to walk. Got my goddamn guy to the ring, and the fucking photographer, is preventing me like he's a goddamn big boss man over there.
I'm surprised you had enough restraint to not choke Andrew like you choked me during the match.
I'm gonna tell you what, Kevin.
And you see the black guy?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, there it is.
Things happen.
That's courtesy of your man Benjamin T. Asher.
That's right.
So I'm not done with him, by the way. By the way, so anytime you want to take the pen
and
I'll
put it to the paper,
I'll do it right now.
We will have our rematch.
Fine. Fuck it. You're gonna challenge my ass? I'm signing it. I'm signing the goddamn paper right now.
Because you see, I have the one black eye from Benjamin T. Asher, but the next time me and Mr. Asher meet, he will have not one, but two black eyes. He's gonna look like a raccoon.
Shoot, Roy. Look at this, Roy. But I'll say one final word about the wrestling event, Kevin. I was disappointed, Roy. All-American Robert Atkins did lose that triple threat match. And Dark Oracle Sage, the IWF World Champion, retained his belt. I'm going to say one last final comment. If the Big A, Andrew Gold, gets in my way one more time, I'm going to shove that camera right up his fucking fat ass.
Wow. That's not good, Dave.
Now he wants to get mad and put the blonde lady on the goddamn TV show. Then this is the type of response you're going to get.
You said you called him a fat slob?
Yeah, I called him a fat slob on the.
That
Kevin,
explains something, Dave, because I got a message asking me on Saturday, am I a fat slob? And I had to explain, no, you're not. I'm sure it was just wrestling trash talk. So maybe that's what's going on here.
I think you hurt his feelings.
He may have, David. He's sensitive to his weight.
Dave, you're an
sensitive.
animal. You're an animal.
Sensitive.
And his level of cleanliness.
He's very clean. I didn't say anything about the smell. He smelled beautifully. He smelled like a combination of zest and Dove.
That's a nice combo.
So you get in my way. Listen. I'm going to call it. I would call Roy Harder a fat slob if he got in my way. The point was he was in my way as I'm trying to walk, for Christ's sakes. Don't be so sensitive, Andrew.
Nickname before he went with producer Rob. It was Fat Slob.
Fat Slob Rob.
Now listen. The Giants, the New York Football Giants. Holy shit.
Speaking of losers.
Yeah.
48-22. They lost to the Eagles. That was the score.
Ouch.
Not a lot to even discuss with this game, except the fucking Eagles treated the Giants, I guess, the way I treated Big A. They fucked them. It was a horrible, horrible goddamn game. And Kevin, are you a Giants or Jets fan? Jets, meanwhile, lost to the Bills, but they were at least competitive.
I grew up a Giants fan, but also rooted for the Jets, and then my allegiance swayed more towards the Jets during the Bill Parcells year.
Gotcha.
I root for both teams.
Yeah, I love the Tuna as well. I love Parcells. Jets quarterback Mike White actually probably won the starting. I mean, he's the starter now for the rest of the season on a loss because he just kept getting destroyed by Buffalo Bills defenders. He broke his ribs. He got hit in the chest. He had to go to the hospital. Every time, though, he got knocked out of the game, he came back like 2 or 3 plays later, finished the game, and then was rushed to the hospital afterwards. So bye-bye, Zach Wilson. And I told everyone when Zach Wilson was drafted, I said he is not gonna make it in this city. Why?
You were correct.
Because the Jets have done the same thing time and time again, whether it's Sanchez from USC or whether it's Darnold from USC or whether it's Wilson from BYU. Stop it with West Coast quarterbacks. They don't know what it's like in the East Coast. They don't know what it's like to play football in the Northeast. They don't know what the media is like in the Northeast. They can't come to the Northeast. They're not well prepared for it. They're just not.
You mean from a public relations standpoint?
USC, BYU, all of these guys come to the fucking Giants or Jets and they fail miserably. And I honestly believe that a person who grew up in the West Coast, okay, grew up on that side of the country, they don't know what kind of animal the New York media is. But it's not just New York, Philly, Boston. These guys can't handle it. Zach Wilson Zach Wilson lost his job because of a press conference.
So you think because he can't handle the press, he can't handle himself on the field? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think it, Roy. The guy got benched because he sucked in the game. And all he had to do was when the media said, Zach Wilson, do you think you let the defense down? All he had to do was, yes, the defense played incredibly well and I didn't play well. I'll get after it next week. It's so simple. You speak in cliches sometimes in sports. Instead, when they asked him, do you think you let the defense down? He said, no, and walked off like a spoiled brat. The next day, the coach benched his ass. And now this backup quarterback, Mike White, is getting, ribs broken and everything and staying in the game. And his teammates are saying, this guy's amazing.
Wow.
And it's the third time, maybe third or fourth time in the last 10 years, the Jets keep going to the West Coast. Get someone from SEC or get someone from the Big Ten. At least there's cold weather in the Big Ten.
Just because the Jets have not had a reliable quarterback in 50 years since Joe Namath, there's no need for you to go on this rant. It's only been 50 years. You make it seem like the Jets quarterback position has been snake bitten forever. I mean, come on, 50 years is nothing.
50 years.
50.
Wow.
Think of like this. I mean,
Richard Todd, Glenn Foley,
the Jets,
Geno Smith, who's now doing great in Seattle.
The Jets won the Super Bowl like a month after the moon landing, or maybe a few days after the moon landing, or whatever the hell it was. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about they haven't won a Super Bowl since the goddamn moon landing.
I think the Jets Super Bowl's fake, Dave.
It very well could be.
I mean, let's just see if Stanley Kubrick, where was he during that Super Bowl? Because there's a goddamn possibility that Kubrick filmed that whole fucking Super Bowl on a soundstage in Arizona.
And if you look very closely at the moon landing photos, you'll see one of the astronauts, if you look behind the visor, was Joe Namath.
I mean, these are things that we can bring up. I mean, I heard that Namath was actually, he was 11 for 42. But the NFL says if the Jets win this game, you're going to get the job. It's important for the league. So, Kubrick was out there doing his special effects, the same type of special effects in 2001 Space Odyssey. He's CGI in the football. And next thing you know, there's the Jets winning the goddamn game. They weren't beating the Colts.
That's why if you watch The Shining, you can see the hoodie he's wearing actually is a Jets Super Bowl hoodie.
Interesting.
See? He's wearing the Jets Super Bowl hoodie. You see? Some other football stories. Baker Mayfield won on Thursday Night Football. The much maligned Baker Mayfield. He was on every single commercial 2 years ago. When any football game would take a commercial break, you could see that Baker Mayfield would be in 3 of those commercials. He'd be in 3 of the 4 commercials. I was like, what the fuck? And when he was on the Cleveland Browns, when he was Robert's boy. But then he sucks. He gets released. He goes to the Panthers. He sucks. He gets released. He goes to the Rams. Everyone's like, well, this guy's going to get killed. And he actually wins the game in dramatic fashion, too. They were down 16-3 with 4 minutes to go. And he got 2 touchdowns late. Robert, you're a Cleveland Browns fan. How does this make you feel?
Fantastic, Dave. Nothing makes me happier. Honestly, Baker got a raw deal in Cleveland. You can't expect a guy to come in and in 2 seasons change an entire culture. He's a winner at heart. I was sad to see him go, and I was very happy because if this is truly the end of his career and his shot at being a starting quarterback in the NFL, few guys get a shot at the team that kind of put them in that position like he did against the Panthers.
That's a good point.
Getting to kind of go out with that one significant win, send a message, even if it is like if he never plays another starting down as a quarterback in the NFL, he can look at that last game and go, yeah, I sent my message.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I got no ill will towards Baker. I just always thought he was overhyped. I don't know. It's weird that these fucking NFL GMs can't see guys who don't have strong arms.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield never had a strong arm. He didn't have a strong arm in college. How is he going to go in the pros where everyone's fucking, runs a 4.0 40 for Christ's sakes? How is he going to throw the football?
Couldn't agree with you more. Cleveland gets these thing wrapped in their head of picking up like winners or guys who just have, but they also need the X factor. Like
Robert,
the ability to throw the
Cleveland
ball.
Browns. Who's their QB now?
The rapist. Allegedly.
Who?
Alleged
that
rapist.
guy who had the massages in Houston.
Oh, right. Yeah. Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kevin, I don't know about Deshaun Watson. I don't know what's going on with Cleveland, man.
Roy's had a few massages in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a show on Nick at Night with Betty White and Valerie Bertinelli? Massages in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, I used to watch that. I love that show.
Yeah.
I did a stand-up show right after he got signed there and came out on stage and was like, hey, Cleveland, anybody know where to get a good massage around here? They hated me the rest of the show.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
What unfunny? Oh, okay.
They get it. They know who they are.
Robert Kraft knows where to get a good massage.
Yeah. Turns out that's the key to winning.
That's it.
If I ever saw Roy Harder getting a massage like that,
Yeah.
I'd put a bullet through his eye like that guy in The Godfather. That'd be the end of you.
Why is that, David? You just don't
Because
want to
you're too classy to pull that Deshaun Watson stuff.
I'm not.
You're too classy. I see you as Robert Redford in Indecent Proposal, where you're offering some guy like who has a hot chick like $1 million to bang their wife. I'm not saying you're not going to be a creep. I'm saying you're going to be creepy and classy. All at the same time.
All right. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I will not participate on a program like this if it's classy.
Now listen.
The class goes out the window right now.
Who wants to go to the Super Bowl? Raise your hands. Roy Harder? All right.
Yeah,
good.
why not?
All right. Here's what you're going to have to do. And Robert will make sure you get some clippers by next week, and we'll do it next week. Doritos is holding a campaign to shave a triangle in your head the way Von Miller has. He's all shaven except for a triangle in the very back.
Yeah.
The rest of his head is cleanly shaven. Look at that. Cleanly shaven except for just a little triangle in the back of his hair.
You know who else had to wear a triangle?
Who?
Back in World War II?
I think it was two of them. One on top of the other.
The homosexuals when they
what the fuck? Will you concentrate on Doritos? You psycho!
All right. I got my triangles mixed up. There.
Roy
I'm
just
sorry.
brought this show to his Aryan.
That wasn't in here either.
Roy goes into his Aryan German ancestry really, really quickly, and he's thinking it's a nice conversational point. He's like, David, my uncles actually had to round up a few guys with triangles on their arms.
I was like, oh, here's something I could chime in on.
You love chiming in when it's ever about like rounding up people and putting people against the wall.
Yeah. Anything to do with stars or triangles.
Will you be shaving your head into a triangle next Monday to go to the Super Bowl? You raised your hand.
Oh, man, that's a tough one, David. I mean, what do they want on the side or in the back? What are they looking for?
I'll allow you to do it anywhere, but Von Miller does it in the back. You have to shave your whole head and just put a triangle somewhere on it.
Ooh.
You're saying
yeah,
Von
if it's
Miller.
on the side, it's on the side. If it's in the back,
And that's guaranteed tickets to the Super Bowl.
No, then they put your hat into the ring, and then maybe you win the lotto.
Oh, screw that! No way.
Shave your beard into a triangle.
Yeah, if it was a guaranteed ticket, I'm in. But if it's putting me in some kind of lottery and I never win the lottery, no way.
I get to be a member of the Davey Mac Sports Program. I think I win the lottery every week.
Oh, well, then would you do it, Robert? Can we shift it to you?
No way.
Oh,
I would much rather watch the Super Bowl at home.
Robert,
it's a better
if you
time.
do it, then you could be like that could be like good for your comedy, your stand-up career. Call yourself Triangle Head.
You know what they're going to call me if I shave a triangle in my head?
Yeah, I know, but think about it. Think about it. How many stand-up comedians' names have shapes in them? You don't see, Circle Jones or Square Smith or anything, but instead it's Triangle Tamburo.
Here's the thing, David. I joined a fraternity in college called Triangle, and I hate all those guys now, so I think they would assume I was back on board. I'd be afraid they thought I was supporting them.
It sounds like you're an expert in triangles. Did you ever play one?
No, God, that's way too difficult. You got to keep rhythm and stuff.
I know.
You've heard me try to do karaoke.
It's tricky.
I just thought it was funny. You said Von Miller, and Roy kept hearing Von Traps.
Something that developed, it's old news now. Kevin, I want to hear your input if this is too much money, but I'm very excited. I don't have to stalk and do anything bad to Brian Cashman nor Hal Steinbrenner, because since last week's episode, the New York Yankees finally woke up, re-signed Aaron Judge, $360 million for 9 years. Kevin Knight, good deal, bad deal?
Cash, man.
Aha.
I saw what you did there, Rob. Dave, I was following along with your Twitter as you were calling out Cashman for not getting anything done. I believe over the past year or so, you've referred to him as a weasel.
Weasel. Yeah, weasel and possum. And but usually weasel. Yeah.
And I think that this went past Brian Cashman. The word was that Hal Steinbrenner got this deal done with Aaron Judge. So I just don't know what Cashman has been doing in building the team over the past 5 years, because it's been the same old story, eliminated in the first or wild card round of the playoffs or the divisional round.
Yeah. It's a lot of bullshit with the Yankees, because it's have the team in contention so that you get a 4 million person attendance rate during the regular season, make the playoffs. And when you lose in the playoffs, you don't have to pay people lots of money in the off season. I mean, this is chintzy fucking bullshit that's been going on in some organizations for years, but not with the New York Yankees. The Yankees don't operate like this. You're not but this is a dirty little secret. Just be second or third. A lot of baseball teams and owners love being second or third, maybe squeaking in the playoffs, but not winning, because then if you win, you got to pay these guys. You see?
Yeah, makes sense.
It almost seems like the former Mets owners, the Wilpons, are now running the Yankees.
I mean, the Mets owners, I give them tons of credit. The other team is the fucking San Diego Padres. Apparently, they offered Judge $400 million.
I wonder why he didn't take it.
Because then he'd be a San Diego Padre as opposed to being a New York Yankee. Let's be honest. He wants to wait
till he retires to have kids, Roy.
And the New York Yankee captain.
And the New York Yankee captain, which I do believe he will be named before the season begins.
And you don't think the Padres would have made him captain for $400
what
million?
I'm saying is post-career, if you've spent your whole life in pinstripes, you're a Yankee captain, and I'm assuming Judge will get one championship plus MVP and 62 home runs. Yeah. That's worth way more than $40 million post-career. That could be worth a couple $100 million through endorsements, through Lexus deal. Listen, Derek Jeter's making all kinds of fucking money with Rolex and shit because he's the goddamn Yankee thing. He probably makes a few $million, and he's retired. He doesn't have to do anything for this money. So that's why you stay with the Yankees. You'll get endorsements and you'll get big time sponsorships for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's why I'm fucking Davey Mac, the sports master.
That's it.
Master, you're the one to read that after.
And since your keyboard isn't hooked up to anything, that was just the sound of you hitting plastic.
The best part is
that was pretty good though.
Right before you did that, Roy, there was Contrarian, the guy who did the Photoshops last week. Dave in the chat was like, "Hey, what's up with the complete lack of stingers by Roy lately?" And I was explaining, we're working on the technology. And as you did that, Roy did his keyboard unplugged in stinger.
By the way, he wants to be called Wedge.
Wedge. I'm sorry. Wedge.
Wedge.
Thanks for the heads up.
You're welcome. He's wonderful though. Great fan. So what else? Okay, Brittney Griner. Thoughts and opinions, gentlemen. I want you people to take it away. Roy Hunter, you first. Brittney Griner released from a Russian prison for.
I was afraid you were going to go to me first, but I'll tell you what, David. I think this is the biggest sham in the history of politics that they're letting a Marine rot in prison in Russia, and this woman manages to get out.
I think they said they're working on the Marine. But...
Well, then they should have let her rot in there until they got the Marine out, just for the optics of it.
All right. Well, rot is a hard word. I mean, I don't want to see any Americans rotting in a Russian jail. It's bullshit that what Putin does. Don't you think he just captures it? But if you're an American, stop going to our enemies' countries. I'm sorry. Don't go to Russia. Don't go to North Korea. Don't go anywhere. Stay in Europe, and that's Western Europe.
Don't play basketball for him. That's for sure.
How much would it take for you to go to Russia, Dave?
Give me $50 million and I'll take my chances, but I'll be fucking packed to the gills.
I would love to see Dave in a Russian prison.
I'd forget about it. I'd break out of that thing in 48 hours.
I'd be running that prison within a week. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Eastside Dave.
Yeah.
I know. First of all, I'm beloved by Russians because in Russia, Eastside Dave is not a heel. I'm actually, because it's opposite. So I'm a good guy over there.
They respect the heels over there.
Yeah. So like in Russia, I'm like the baby face of baby faces over there. Yeah. So that's not going to be an issue. I'm gonna run that goddamn jail like I'm fucking Al Capone. I'm gonna have like 8 Russians, like trimming my nails and washing my feet.
Exactly. I know how to deal with Russians.
Yeah.
I'm shady. I know exactly how this works.
We agree, Dave. You should not eat pizza from concession stand.
I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't be bringing any marijuana over on the airplane ride over there. That's for sure.
You absolutely would.
No, I would.
We bring it on the ferry going into the city.
I would find a guy within 15 minutes of landing to supply me. Simple as that. I wouldn't be bringing it back and forth. That's for sure.
May I ask a question to Mr. Harder, Dave?
Yes.
Can the Marine dunk a basketball sometimes?
There you go. I don't think that Paul Whelan guy can dunk. That's an issue for me as a sports host.
Well,
I mean, don't forget where my bread is buttered. She can dunk.
Women's basketball, right, Dave?
Well, she can dunk. That's all I'm saying. I go with the sports people.
Sometimes she can dunk.
Sometimes. Now, she never, I'm not saying this because I don't actually know a lot about Brittney Griner. Did she ever have a dick? And again, not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just.
That's the first time I didn't have to open my mouth.
Someone else's. That was an open-ended question.
No, she's a woman or, well, I guess gender stuff is confusing these days. Again, I don't care. I'm just wondering.
Well, it's confusing. She plays women's basketball. I'm assuming she's a woman.
Okay. Just want confirmation on that.
You would think.
She's very masculine features, but I believe
I just wanted confirmation. I'm not judging.
Well, I've never seen her in the locker room, so you'd have to ask the other girls on the team. Hey, what's the story with the?
How
all right, let's do that. Robert
for the Olympics, though.
Robert, book a couple of Brittney Griner's teammates for 2023.
God, I would love to, dude.
We're gonna put them under interrogation. It's gonna be the most intense interrogation ever.
Bob Gable says in the chat, 6'9", size 17 shoe.
Okay, there you go, right there.
I ain't judging. I'm just asking questions here. I didn't go onto fucking Brittney Griner's Wikipedia page. Thank you. Now, Kevin, how the hell are you? Kevin, when's the next IWF event, by the way?
April 15th in Nutley at the Rec Center in Nutley, New Jersey.
Boom. I love Nutley, too. I love all of the venues that
I'm ready for the rematch.
I'm doing it, Kevin. You want a rematch with Benjamin T. Asher? You're on, bro. I'm signing it over here.
Remember, one black eye.
Jesus. Look at this.
Soon to be 2 black
April
eyes.
15th is going to be 2. You know what, Roy? Maybe it's going to be 4 black eyes.
Oh, wow. Sounded almost racist.
No. He's
black eyes.
Black
called the
eye.
Harlem Heat.
And by the way, Roy, he was threatening me. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having my back. He said he's going to punch not only Benjamin T. Asher's eyeballs out, he's going to punch mine.
Maybe I'll pull one of your eyeballs out.
Jesus!
Wow. Family show.
Jesus.
Maybe.
I'll tell you one other thing, too. If that cameraman gets in my way,
Oh.
I'm going to put the boots to his ass.
Which one? The
You
fat
stop.
guy?
Okay, please. Robert, did he
Bro,
really
you're
say-
just as bad. Don't encourage him.
Wait, no, I gotta know.
My job on the show is to encourage him.
Did Robert, did he actually send you that stuff?
Dave, I just got something that said, if you're not ready for the train, get off the tracks. So I don't know if that means try to level him and he's going to put you on your ass or what.
No, but
he seems-
listen. Did Big A actually text you? Just talk to me here.
I mean, he's not allowed to text, so Facebook message.
Oh, it was a Facebook message?
Yeah.
What's wrong with him? I'm fucking cutting a wrestling promo, for Christ's sakes. And he's asking you questions as if what I'm saying is. Do I gotta call this fucking guy now? And be
No.
like,
I think he deserves an apology. As
Jesus.
does everyone that was in attendance in New Brunswick this past weekend deserves an apology from you.
I don't think
I have known Andrew for 20 fucking years. And he didn't realize I was doing a wrestling promo. I'm dressed in a sparkly jacket, holding a goddamn, like I'm Liberace, for Christ's sakes. It was a wrestling promo, Andrew. I love you. But it's a wrestling
just messaged me, Dave. He said even Liberace didn't suck that much.
Oh, that's terrible.
Andrew.
That's terrible.
Tell Andrew to pick up the phone after the show. I'm going to call him and I'm going to fucking, if he thought what I said was bad on Saturday, wait till this post DMSP phone call this evening.
Wow. Just keep it rolling. Call him now while we're on.
Robert, is that possible?
He has to go down to a payphone to accept calls.
Roy, don't encourage this behavior.
Let me
Just
see.
validating
I'm going to pop
Dave's
off and see if I
nonsense.
can get him to come in real quick, Dave.
All right, he's gonna pop off and see him come in. So lots of things are going on though. Now I got something else to talk about. Oh, listen, I keep saying this, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks are not a bad basketball team. In fact, I think they're a lot closer than people realize if they could just get a star shooting guard. Star. I'm not talking about someone who don't do what the Yankees do and just get someone who's capable. Get a star. They should have gotten Donovan Mitchell, like I said, because if he was on a team with Jalen Brunson and the way Julius Randle is playing this season, an emerging Obi Toppin, and we heard that the only thing was RJ Barrett and some draft picks. You know what? I like RJ Barrett, but you send him and those draft picks for a star in Donovan Mitchell. This team would be woo. As is, they're 14-13. They're over 500. And I'm a Knicks fan and I'm enjoying what I'm watching. But let's get excited here and let's make a move mid-season with a team that looks like they're going to be out of it for a star shooting guard. I don't know who's going to be available.
Who's going to want to go there? They've been having the same trouble for over 20 years.
But Jalen Brunson just ended that, hopefully. Look, he had he had his ability to go to any team that he wanted. He was a free agent. He chose the Knicks, and he's playing great. He's going to make the All-Star team as a Knick, and Julius Randle's going to make the All-Star team. You got a point guard and a power forward. Like, things are bubbling a little bit.
A little.
You got to get that shooting guard.
A little.
You got to get a guy who can give you, 35 or 40. A little. They're at least over 5. Kevin, listen, 27 games into the season, they're over 500. We have not been able to say that in a long time.
That's true. When was the last time the Jets, Giants, and Knicks were all over 500 at the same time?
That's a good question. I don't know, but you factor in also the Yankees and Mets almost won 100 games, and but it is frustrating because there's a lot of winning going on in the New York, New Jersey area, but not a lot of championships lately in the last few years.
Were
So
the Yankees the Yankees were the last championship, right? 2009.
Well, Giants, New York Football Giants won 2012 Super Bowl.
Right. Was that 12?
Yeah, 2011/12 season.
And the other one they won was 2007.
2007/8 season.
Right.
So it was
Wow,
the 2007
it's
regular.
been 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. And let's see, Knicks, Nets, no. Rangers, no. Devils, no. Islanders, no. Yankees, Mets, no and no. So yeah, I think you're right. It's got to be the New York Football Giants, the last team to win a championship.
Devils were 2003. Yankees were 2009. Giants were 2008, 2012.
Knicks, you got to go back to 1973.
Wow.
So this year will mark the 50th anniversary of the last New York Knickerbocker championship. That's unacceptable.
That's
Any New York team, and not only that, but a New York team that plays in Madison Square Garden, the building where that Michael Jordan of all people calls the Mecca of basketball.
Yeah. Now it's the Mecca of Billy Joel.
The Mecca of Billy Joel. What was that, Kevin?
Was that the Willis Reed coming out of the tunnel?
That was 69. That was the first they won. That
was 69? Okay.
Yeah, that team won 2 championships.
Okay.
But 73 was when they got Earl the Pearl to join the team.
Yes.
Still had Willis Reed and Walt Frazier and a bunch of great players. Jerry Lucas was there as well.
Jerry Lee Lewis?
Jerry
Who? I didn't know he was a baller.
Jerry Lucas was this really weird dude who is like one of the smartest basketball players of all time, and he learned like angles and stuff for like rebounds and stuff like that made him actually excellent at rebounding. After his career ended, he learned how to teach memorization techniques.
Really?
He was a guy who you could hand him a random phone book and he tried to go through it as quickly as possible. And he said he could, like, within 15 minutes, memorize A through G or something.
That's amazing.
And would ask you to test him. And he got tested on, like, the Phil Donahue show. They had, like, a whole bunch of random phone books from all of America. And he said, just pick any single one and then give it to me. And Phil Donahue gave him 15 minutes. They came back, they had a couple segments. They came back and they asked him people, like, the name, and then you have to give the phone number, and he did.
Wow. That's actually really impressive.
Yeah.
I'm like that, but in reverse, where after 15 minutes, I forget everything.
Robert, where is Angie? Can he do it or no?
We're trying. There may be some technical difficulties.
What's that?
We're trying. I'll let you know in a few.
Well, if you can't do it, no big deal, because I need you on the show now because I want to do the Jerry Jones thing. So if he can't do it, no big deal. We only got 10 minutes left anyway. Jerry Jones, a controversy has popped up with the Dallas Cowboys owner, the legendary owner, Jerry Jones. This is a weird one. I got to be honest. A photo popped up where Jerry Jones was 14 years old and he was in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1957. And there were white kids trying to prevent black kids from entering the school.
Yeah.
Now, Jerry Jones is getting some heat for this. Jerry Jones says, I was simply curious to see what was going on. I was not participating. What do you think about this controversy, Roy Harder?
Well, honestly, he is 14 years old. And you know damn well when you're 14 years old, you do a lot of dumb shit. So if he was there, he was probably doing exactly what his dad, was telling him to do.
Oh, he was there.
So,
he confirmed that was him in the picture.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen the picture. It's clearly him. He did not deny that. But the real problem guy in the photo is the guy right in front of the black guy with the cigarette dangling out of his mouth. If that was Jerry Jones, I'd have a bigger problem with it. But the fact is, he's like off in the background, basically just kind of like, he's a little kid, just kind of like, what's going on over there? I'm giving him a pass on this one, David.
All right.
The guy with the cigarette, that's a problem.
Kevin, do you give him a pass because he was 14?
Yeah, I give him a pass. If we judge people by what they did when they were 14 years old, I don't think anybody would be allowed out in society.
Yeah,
I agree.
Right.
And also, it was literally such a different America. Oh, my Lord.
Oh,
here?
Look at this.
Now
we have outside interference. Outside interference.
Look who's here. The photographer of photographers, the most talented person
He's
I've
taken
ever
over the
known.
whole show.
Andrew Gold, do you hear us? Do
Oh,
you?
he hears us. He hears us all right, David.
I don't know if he does. He's got that Andrew Gold look on his head. Like, what's happening? Well, Andrew, when you hear us, let us know. Andrew, give us a thumbs up when you hear us. Or Robert, you text him to give us a thumbs up. I think you guys are right. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
No, it's not good that went down. But at the same time, I actually thought what Jerry Jones said sort of looked true. He was not even looking at the black kids. He was looking at the white kids. That told me that he actually may have been simply curious to see like what's going to happen with this thing. Look at Jerry Jones. He's not looking. He's looking at the guy that Roy was talking about with the cigarette. Furthermore, You're right. 14 years of age. I mean,
that's where I draw the line there. Anyone, if you're under the age of 18, I believe you do.
I mean, we do as a society. If you commit a crime when you're 14, it doesn't follow you when you're 18.
Right.
So it's odd. It's odd. And how did they even find this picture? I mean, what, you know?
Right.
I know, right? It just goes to show you. But you know what? There's news cameras there. It's obviously, it was an event. He was curious. He was there. And yes, it was a very controversial time in history. But at the same time, it's like you're rearranging people's thought process and thinking. There's going to be some friction.
All right.
Is anybody surprised? Like, I just assumed he was involved in all that. He's the owner of the Cowboys. He lives in Texas.
He's always actually had a reputation of being cool with the black guys.
Yeah, but I think I just kind of thought he evolved over time. Like, I assumed being a rich person from the South, he probably had those ties and learned through working with the NFL and seeing how great, you know what I mean? Like, he had a human experience of change, and isn't that what we're going for?
Exactly.
Okay. He said he's one of the most leading people now, so I'm sure he had that background, and he's learned from it and given back tenfold.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Even if he was on the opposing team, they're preventing these kids from getting in. I still think
the opposing team. So you're actually making this like a football game. It's whites versus blacks.
The opposing,
Roy
the
just said opposing teams, Kevin.
I meant to say the opposing race. So
wasn't that a show on CBS?
Yeah. Welcome to Opposing Race.
Yes.
We're going to go all over the world and oppose
It's a big
other
hit
races.
on Sunday nights.
We're going to have 9 teams travel the globe and oppose all races.
yeah. Hey Dave, you want to see a really shady character in that picture? Look at the lower hand right. There's a guy in the lower hand right of the picture talking to a black kid. He's got shades on. Tell me he's not the most shady looking character out of the entire picture. I don't know if you have the photo handy, but
well, I mean, that whole photo is
there. He is.
Oh yeah. That guy looks like straight up CIA or something.
Yeah. What is he saying to the black kid? Because the black kid clearly is like, whoa.
You see, it's called crack. It's like cocaine, but it's even better.
I don't think that's what he was saying.
Hey, that's how crack was introduced by the CIA. That's what
right
people
there.
say. That could have been it.
That was the moment. Caught on film.
Now, is Andrew Gold here or not?
He's having audio issues, Dave. Maybe on our
Andrew.
end, but
come on, Big A.
Forget
just
it.
try yelling real loud, Andrew. Nothing.
I think I just heard something.
I think I heard a fart.
That was me.
Oh, okay. Well, listen.
I thought I was safe backed up against these pillows.
It's okay because I believe Andrew, Robert, I invited Andrew to your house next week. Next week for the Chris Pepper Stanley final show of 2023.
How exciting.
I forgot to tell you about that, Robert. I invited Big A and Bobo to your house.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
I mean, it's the final show of the year. Pepper's going to be, I figure we'll have some fun, have a good time. But I forgot to mention that to you. So basically my point is that we'll be hearing from Andrew next week. That will be exciting. And that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We're done.
That flew by.
That's it. Now it's time to put on some Monday Night Football, do whatever you got to do, play some
Patriots.
That's it. Patriots, Cardinals. Cardinals, what a goddamn disappointment. Jeez. I had them going far this year. They fucked up my whole entire fantasy football thing.
Well, the Cardinals better win tonight because that'll help the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, look, gentlemen, I love you so much. Kevin, it was another fantastic wrestling event on Saturday. I loved it.
I haven't forgotten.
But guess what? April 2023, Kevin, I'll be there, and my people will be there, and the East Side Empire will be there. We're getting some victories, Kevin.
You have 4 months. You have 4 months to prepare and train your guys. I understand Brian Atkins will be back from suspension.
Robert Atkins' twin brother, Brian, will be back from suspension.
Yes.
So this is an exciting development, and we're going to be there. The master of chaos, Kevin Knight. And if you want to check out IWF, the website, campiwf.com. And probably soon to get some tickets in April. CampIWF.
They're on sale right now.
And they got merch. Come on, campiwf.com. All right. Roy Harder, Robert, thank you all so much.
Love you, David.
I love you guys. And to the Davey Mac Sports Program audience, I love you as well. And good.